Good morning, Year 6. Welcome back to another virtual English lesson. It is the 24th of April today, and we are going to be looking at writing a chronological report. Now, this is the final lesson of the week, but it's also the final lesson of our unit. So we're going to round it off nicely by showing what we have learnt by writing a short chronological report. Now, there's no starter today. We're going to go straight into our work. So you will be coming up with your own chronological report, as I already mentioned, and we'll get straight into that work. Now then, what do we need to include when writing our reports? Chronological report. Chronological report, what is it? Well, chronological means time. Report is giving factual information about something. Again, so it's that time-ordered factual information. Now, as we're doing this, have a little think. What do we need to include? What must we have in our reports? A couple of seconds, have a little think. What do we need to include? Bring that little checklist up in your head. As you're writing, what do you need to make sure you have? Okay, let's have a little look. Of course, we need time connectives. They're hugely important to link and to give the reader of your report some context to how long has passed between different paragraphs or different sentences. Generally, they will be in the past tense because they're historical, and this one will be in third person. Of course, it should be factual, so therefore it gives information and answers questions such as who, what, where, when, why, or how. If you have a witness or you have a quote from somebody, include that into your report. Paragraphs, very, very key. They should be in all of your writing by now. And obviously, with a chronological report, you need to have an opening paragraph and a closing paragraph, also known as your introduction and your conclusion. You may use labeled diagrams or illustrations if you wish to, but it should definitely be formal. It should be reported speech, passive voice, longer sentences, and formal language with no contractions. So no can't or won't or shouldn't. Okay, full sentences and full words. And you may also see bullet points, but you will almost certainly have subheadings in there as well. So those structural signposts are very, very important. Now then, you'll be writing a report about Amy Hess, the author of When Jessie Came Across the Sea and Mr. George Baker. Now, if you want a little challenge, you could write about your favourite author. That could be J.K. Rowling, it could be R.L. Stein, Mallory Blackman. It's up to you. However, I'm going to give you some websites about Amy Hess, and I'm going to talk about Amy Hess now for the next couple of minutes. So therefore, I would highly recommend that you use this author. But again, if you want to challenge yourself, the choice is there, and it's up to you. So I've got some statements here about Amy, okay, the author of our recent books, and we're going to put them into these different time places. It is a chronological report, so it's very important that it is in time order. So I've got early life, beginning writing, and recently. Now, you may come up with some different subheadings, of course. You may organise yours in a slightly different way, as long as it's in time order. So let's have a look at these statements, and let's put them into the right place. So let's look at this first one at the top. More than 45 books later, and over 1 million copies sold, with translations in 15 languages, Amy says, simply, I love my job. Well, where's that going to go in here? Of course, it's going to go to a recent statement. It's recently happened. We're going to go there. Let's look at the next one here. Let's look at this one. My birthday is April the 28th, 1950. Are we going to early life? We're going to beginning writing, or is it recent? Well, of course, it's the early life. It's telling us when she was born. Her parents were called Seymour and Thelma. Definitely early life, okay. That's telling us who her dad and who her mum is. Amy worked as a children's librarian in the New York Public Library system in the early 1970s. Well, you could potentially go early life, but actually, if you were to do some research, you would find it's when she began to write. She had to have this job and she was certain she was going to go into there. So it's actually when she started to begin to write. Amy walks with her dogs 2 or 3 times a day. Definitely a recent thing. Maybe through her life, but it is a recent quote that she has said. Let's look at the next one. Amy has an older brother called Ken. Well, that's going to go into her early life. Her siblings, okay, brothers, sisters would go into early life. Amy secretly aspired to be a writer from an early age. Well, early age tells us a big clue there. Of course, that is another early life statement. Her first book was maybe next year in 1982. Again, it's her first book, it's beginning writing. Now, of course, you could find more facts, you could find more information, but here are some basic facts and information from Amy Hess's life. And now this could help you with your writing. Now, your parents would have received your work from today, and one of the things on there was an example by me. So with my example here, as you can see, I've got her name right at the top, the author's name at the top. I've got my introduction and I have got my conclusion. Now, if you're doing Amy Hess, okay, you can get some ideas from here. I've included key questions that you can include in your report. No matter which author you're doing, these would help with any writing of a report. So use my example to give you some ideas, take some inspiration from it, and then have a go at writing your own. Okay. Your parents would have also received these. These were some guidelines. Now, they're very similar. There's 4 sort of boxes here and 1 large one at the bottom. So you've got your introduction, you've got your conclusion, and then you've got 3 paragraphs that you could use for your writing. I'm not looking for a huge report here. It's a short report showing me that you can use the features that are required. So you could use these, or you could have a go at using your own. Okay, if you want to get a piece of A4 paper and design your own sort of style, you are more than welcome to do so. Again, the choice is up to you. Now then, squares, you can write your report. If you would like to use my opening and conclusion, you may do so, only if you are in squares. If you're in triangles and circles, you need to write your report. It should have an introduction, 3 paragraphs as a minimum, and a conclusion. Use the writing checklist, make sure you've proofread your work, and then when your work has been finished, send it to me. Now this morning, before our Skype sessions, I will send you a list of websites that you can use to research Amy Hess. If you're doing another author, you will have to do your own research. So Year 6, I look forward to speaking to you this morning. I hope you have a great session, and I will speak to you very soon.